Hello, everyone, and welcome to Metal Matrix After Dark. In this video, we will be giving my feedback on Star Trek Starfleet Academy, episode number 1, that was released yesterday. Yes, 2 episodes were released yesterday, but I only watched episode number 1 and wanted to give my initial feedback without watching episode number 2. As a longtime Star Trek fan, I have been disappointed in Discovery Season 2, Season 3, Picard, half of Season 1, and Season 2. Loved Season 3, that it got back to its roots of what Star Trek is. Yes, you have a little bit of identity politics in it, but it's not forced upon you. Whereas Discovery Season 2 and 3 was, well, let's just say complete, utter garbage. Now, when I went into watching, like I said, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, the first episode, it was with very, very low expectations after watching the trailers. I have to say I was pleasantly surprised and I was entertained. Is it without any issues? Definitely not. There are some definite problems with it, and I had issues with it as a longtime fan of Star Trek. But overall, it was entertaining. It didn't push too hard on some of the issues that they like to press around in this now identity, and or as you would call it, the message. Is it there? Yes. Is it pushed upon you? I would say not really. If you were somebody who isn't aware of the woke crap and everything else or whatever, it is on the subtle side of things. Did it make men look like idiots? Not really. That's a first, I have to say, in regards to, other than Picard season 3. Yeah, like I said, it was pleasantly, I was entertained. Now, my wife watched it, who is not a longtime Star Trek fan, and she did enjoy it. So would I recommend it to somebody that is not a Star Trek fan, but wants some entertainment? Sure, you'll probably get good entertainment out of it. As a person like me, it was good, but not without its problems. With that being said, I'm going to talk about those problems. So if you do not want spoilers, this is where you should now stop watching and maybe go watch the show yourself and give what you think it is in the comments below. Okay, let's get in the overview of the episode. So at the beginning, you get a mother and child being shown on some kind of base or room on a base. Not sure, doesn't quite explain it at the very beginning. However, what ends up being is that she's talking to her son, says, this is our secret code. And then Starfleet officers come in and bring her into handcuffs in front of the commander of this base, which is Holly Hunter, the actress. Her name was Nelia Aki, and she is the commander of this base at the time. The protagonist is brought in, Nas Braca. He is brought in front of her along with the mother and child. The mother and child were together and they committed a crime to get food. And unfortunately, in that action, or, I would say unfortunately, a Starfleet officer got killed. The protagonist gets sentenced to life, I guess, in a penal colony, and the mother is also sent to a penal colony because she was accessory to the crime of murder of a Starfleet officer. And the commanding officer of the space, Starfleet officer, she cannot make any adjustments and separates the mother and child. This is the whole bis of this one character, is that he's separated from his mother. He's going to be sent to Bajor, to an orphanage. He ends up escaping from that base and getting into the environment out there and somehow surviving, because 15 years later, we see him being on a ship, which is, he's been arrested for multiple crimes and being sent to that penal colony. And of course, and again, the typical fashion, all prison guards are evil. They end up, being dicks, as I would say, and start beating on him. And of course, he ends up showing them taking all three of them down and everything else, which it's plausible because he is a very strong man, because he's got muscles and everything else, and he's been fighting it all his life for 15 years down there. So it's plausible that he could take these guys out. So he does, but he doesn't get away. He gets sent to the penal colony that he was being sent to. He finds out during this whole thing that his mother is not there, is not at the colony. So that's the reason why he went there. Then we get sent to Bajor, where Nalia Aki is sitting there teaching this young kids at this orphanage. In comes the Starfleet commander, Odell Charles Vance from Discovery. He comes in and offers her a job to be the commander of Starfleet Academy. Nalia says, no, I can't do that. I could have done, I should have done something about the mother and son being separated. I just can't do it. That's why I resigned. And this is where I have a little bit of a problem because, again, here we are. Actions require consequences, whether it's for justified means of stealing food or whatever because you're hungry. Come on, people. This is the problem with our society right now, is that there's no longer consequences for your actions. There's ways to get food and everything else. And I'm pretty sure in the future, it would have been a lot better than it is now. There's food banks. There's, and I don't want to get into it. This was the part that bothered me. On top of it, why is it always a mother and a daughter or son get separated that becomes the issue? Why can't it be a father and their son and have a separation or whatever? Like Picard, season 3, where Picard didn't even know he had a son, but the son had jaded views of him. Like, come on. Like, there's many times now where the mother is the real problem when it comes to family dynamics, when there's a divorce or issues. It's not just the man. And we need to address that too. I'm not saying men are innocent in regards to this, but neither are women, mothers. Fathers are just as guilty sometimes as mothers are. And we need to address that issue too. I digress. With that done, she is told that Kleb has been found and that he's at this penal colony after 15 years. She's been apparently searching for him for 15 years and unable to find him up until now. Coincidence? Okay, fine. Storyline. It has to be done. Somewhere along the line, you have to have some kind of background. So fine. It's not bad. It's plausible. She goes to the penal colony. There's an interaction. He's given a chance to he's given a chance to join Starfleet or stay at the penal colony where he would end up dying. Of course, guess what? He takes the chance to go with her to Starfleet. And that's where we get into Starfleet, and we get the introduction to Laura Thok, who is a Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid female. Of course, we all know about Jem'Hadar genetics and the female Jem'Hadar and everything else. That's okay. I don't agree with it. However, Gina Yersher, who plays this Jem'Hadar Klingon crossbreed, did an excellent job, in my opinion. I liked her in other things that I've watched her. She's a good actress, and she plays the part well. I cannot deny that. She runs into this Kleb. Kleb gives the attitude, and then she gives the strict discipline that's required. Perfect start. Goes downhill after that in regards to, discipline in Starfleet. Like I said, she played the part well, and I cannot deny that. People have issues in this watching the trailers of a Jem'Hadar that's a little bit overweight, and it's a female. I have issues with it, but I stepped back and I said, you know what? So be it. Let's see if the character matches what we expect out of it. And in my opinion, yes, she played the part well throughout the whole episode. I cannot take that away from this, it was well done. She did a good job in portraying how a Jemadar Klingon crossbreed would react. Fair enough. So, anyways, we get into we start meeting the different people in Starfleet, and it's actually fairly good. The interactions, of course, we get the bully that tries to bully the Klingon. There's a Klingon that's a pacifist, and there might be a reason behind it. We haven't figured it out yet, but there is a reason behind it. Is the fellow that's playing the Klingon doing well? Yes, I would say so. He's doing okay in regards to playing the character. Again, everybody that came in here played their character, in my opinion, very well. I cannot take that away from them, except for maybe the doctor, Robert Picardo. I think it's a little bit downplayed and trying to not overshadow the episodes of when he was in Voyager. It's a bit disappointing, I would say, with regards to some of the way he interacts. You would think that being around for that long, he would be a little bit better in regards to his demeanor and everything else. But anyways, again, I think it's because they're trying to downplay him in this episode and try to bring everybody else. I digress again. So we get it. We go in, we get the introduction of everybody, and then we get the ship that's in there. I can't remember. It's Athena. It's the starship Athena. And it's actually not bad looking. It's not bad looking. I'm not impressed with it like I would be impressed with the Enterprise and the different Enterprise iterations, but it's not bad. Then we get on the bridge. They're going to head to Earth and take off. So they introduce the different crew members on the bridge of the Athena. And this is where, again, you notice the typical message where you don't see very, very few males in the whole scheme of things. It's mostly women and one, I think, token white male. Robert Picardo is in there too, but on the bridge. And I don't even say that he might be white. He's more of a Eastern European color, a tan color like me. Anyways, again, I digress. Does it take away from the episode? No, it's just because we're so seeing the message or in the wokeness in episodes. You notice it right away in the Starfleet Academy, but overall, it doesn't take away from the big scheme of the episode. What really takes away from the episode, in my opinion, was when Holly Hunter, or Athena, sits in the captain's chair, cross-legged and very comfortable, I would say. I'm sorry. This is Starfleet Academy. You would never have a commander looking like nonchalant in a commander's chair. I wish these idiots that write this shit stop doing this, because it would never happen. You need command structure, not the nonchalant, don't give a shit about what I look like in the command. This is our problem with our society right now. You got to have command structure if you want organization and you want things to get done, not the nonchalant. Yes, you encourage as a commander, but you got to present yourself in a rightful manner. And she's sitting in the chair reading her book is one thing too. And that alone bothered the heck out of me. Laura Thok, the Jemadar Klingon crossbreed female, did more in regards to that very beginning showing command structure and what it is than anything else in this whole episode. And then it went out the door. It went out the door. So they get into trouble. The protagonist shows up. Neas Baraka shows up, captures the ship with some biofilm that goes over the ship, and of course things start going south. Nathalia and Baraka have their little altercation because he was sent to penal colony by her, and he knows her, but he wants the warp core. So she plays him, sends him down, and then does a Starfleet warp core simulation where he leaves, and the Kleb recognizes, I forgot to mention, Kleb recognizes that this signature he recognizes the signature. Again, plausible because he hung out with Nas Baraka and his mother. I can't remember her name at the top of my head right now. Anyways. All that stuff that happened was great. Nobody downplayed, nobody, said, "Oh, I know what to do, and I've never had experience in this, blah, 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 blah." No, I have to admit, for the first time in this last couple of episodes, people were out playing outside the realm, looked like they didn't know. Like, for example, Laura Talk was injured. She had a piece of metal that was stuck in her body near her heart, and they all sat there, I know what to do. We could do this. Oh, blah, blah. No, we got to get her to a medical bay. We got to do this. It was plausible. It wasn't this, I know what to do. I can do it right here now. I'm the greatest thing than anything else. Even though I just learned Starfleet now. No, it was actually, again, it was great to see people outside the realm showing what they can and cannot do. The Klingon character was the one that had to do surgery on her, and he had no clue what to do, and it showed. He even acted that way. I don't want to kill her, don't want to kill her, don't want to kill her. It was great and refreshing to see that you didn't have everybody just happen to know what they can do and everything else. Even the woman, the bully I can't remember his name, that went on the outside the ship, he didn't miraculously, all of a sudden get back and survive and everything. No, there had to be a rescue and everything. And of course, we knew it was going to happen, that he was going to get rescued no matter what. But the thing was, it was done really well. The girl that was rescuing him, her name was Tamara Sandel. She had an idea, but couldn't access certain items of the ship. And, I can figure out how to bypass the security and do this and everything else. No. She actually had to get a command officer to show up, which happened to be the hologram doctor, the doctor, who then had the command code and gave it to override the command for allow her to do what she needed to do. It wasn't like, I don't need anybody, I can do it myself thing, is what I'm trying to say. So that's, like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was pleasantly good, I have to say. I hate to admit it. Now, I haven't watched episode number 2. This is just episode number 1. I'll be watching episode number 2 tonight to see if there's anything that changes from the first episode. I hope everybody takes it as it is, and thank you for coming in and listening to my feedback on Star Trek Starfleet Academy. If you liked what I said, subscribe down below. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Have fun. And as always, peace out.